feel chilly. Cryptocurrency starting to cool off. Is this the cryptocurrency winter we've all been talking about? We've all been afraid of? Is it coming? Is it coming? It sounds kind of weird, but today we're talking about Bitcoin. My hair's crazy. It's Monday morning. The market's closed. I got nothing else to do. So let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's talk about cryptocurrency today. What is going on? I'm on the moon. It's freezing up here. Let's take a look at the chart on Bitcoin and some of my cryptocurrency holdings right now. What is going on? Diving into it. Let's go. What's going on, fam? Patrick here. If you guys haven't already, do me one favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's get into the action here, baby. So I almost said AMC. So Bitcoin, BTC, Bitcoin, the overall leader and indicators here on cryptocurrency. Well, we got bad news, my friends. We got some bad news. Back there in December of 2021, we did not bounce off of this overall trend on the chart. This is the daily chart we're looking at, and you can see Bitcoin broke right on through there, and that was kind of what we were fearful of. We were hoping for a move like this. We pulled back to this level, this overall support, kind of turned $50,000 into support, and then we break to the upside and push higher. Now, the question for so many people is, why is Bitcoin going lower? I think there's a little bit of fear in the overall markets and the stock market. People, needing money. There's also the idea of interest rates going higher. I'm just trying to make up reasons for the reasons Bitcoin going lower. But at the end of the day, we know one thing, that Bitcoin likes to go straight to the moon, and then it likes to crash back down. And it's done this pattern so many times, my friends, so many times. And that's one of the reasons that I'm not worried at all. I'm actually excited. I would love for Bitcoin to repeat the pattern that it's repeated like 5 times. And I'll show you the pattern right here. So let's get rid of this line and let's look at the bigger picture on Bitcoin. We'll look at the weekly chart. So if we go back here and let's look at this move here in 2017. I've talked about this before, but let's just look at it. From 2017 to the low, when it got down here to that $3,200 level, was 83% move. It was an 80% drop. So that was 2017 that we got an 80% drop from the highs. Now, obviously, Bitcoin rallied back massively, which is kind of nice because it went from 80% drop to a 1,700% move, which is amazing. Look at that. So in 2019, it was down here at a low of $3,400 after that big drop. Remember, it dropped 80%, but then it rallied back 1,700% from the bottom there. And well, it's so beautiful. Hey, if you guys are looking to buy cryptocurrency, I would check out crypto.com. They have a very easy to use app right on your phone. You can buy all of the top cryptocurrencies and then also some of the latest and greatest altcoins as well. Check them out. Crypto.com. There's a link down below. Let's get back into the action. This is 2013, right? Right now, you're looking at 2013 when the price of Bitcoin went from $19 to a high of almost $1,200. What did it do after the high? Look at this. After the high, it dropped 82%, almost 83% perfectly. The low kind of being $188 right there. So from the high at $1,200, it dropped 83% down here to a low of $100 or $200. And then afterwards, magically, look at this, it then rallied from that $200 level up 9,000% to $20,000, almost 10,000% there. So you can see, these big moves to the upside are normally followed by a big drop to the downside, and then again followed by another big move to the upside. And I think a lot of that comes from a couple of different reasons. It comes from overall humans, trading it. You have the FOMO. So everyone's FOMO. And then they're selling. Oh my God, we're selling. It's dumping. Oh my God, we're selling. And then they're all freaking out. And then again, FOMO. Oh my God, we're freaking out. We're selling off again. So you get a lot of FOMO when it comes to Bitcoin because a lot of people that are buying Bitcoin are kind of getting into it after the move has begun. They're not buying down here at the bottom. They're buying on that squeeze higher because the hype, because the news, the media. The media doesn't talk about Bitcoin when it's at the lows. When Bitcoin's down here at $3,000, no one's talking about it because nobody cares because it's not doing anything. It's going sideways. It's consolidating. Well, I talk about it. I care about it. So let's figure out, where is Bitcoin going from here? Let's just look at the chart because it's so simple to see. Where does an 80% drop put us at from here? And where should I be buying at, right? I think it's very simple. I have not, to let you guys know, I have not bought any cryptocurrency in the last few months here because I believe that Bitcoin will drop 80% from this highs. Now, I haven't really been talking about it a ton on the channel because, you know, people don't want to see negativity. They don't want to believe that I might be right here. But it's not about me being right. It's not about me being a bear or believing that Bitcoin is going to go down to $5,000 or anything like that. Like, that's not what it's about. It's simply just looking at the chart. The last time Bitcoin had a major high at the $20,000 level, what did it do? It dropped 80%. Like, it's not rocket science, people. So don't hate the messenger, hate the game, you know? I will say, there's a couple things to look at here. As of right now, Bitcoin is still in a bullish pattern because we have a kind of lower high at this area, right? Bitcoin pulled back from the 64 area down here to $30,000, almost like right there. So we have this level, and you can see if you look at the chart, that was kind of consolidation level back there in January of 2021, right? So we kind of consolidated at that level for a little bit. Remember, these are weekly candles, so these are each almost like a month of action here, consolidating. So Bitcoin consolidated at that $30,000 level for quite some time. It then rallied up here to $68,000, $64,000, and then pulled back to that exact level once again. You know, we talk about this with trading all the time. At the end of the day, when a stock breaks through resistance and then it pulls back to support, or let's say like Bitcoin breaks through this level here at that $28,000 level, which, you know, kind of was in here. We kind of broke through that $20,000 level. We push up above it. We then turn that level into support. So turning resistance into support is always very bullish. And as of right now, Bitcoin is still kind of doing that because we pushed above this level. We rallied up here, and Bitcoin is now sitting at this level here, right? So we're sitting right there. As long as Bitcoin can hold this level, like I said, it's still in a very kind of bullish pattern. It's in a bullish pattern as long as it holds this level here. If it breaks below this level, well, then obviously this $28,000 level would be, you know, I think it'll come pretty quick. I think Bitcoin would kind of just drop almost, you know, I wouldn't say instantly, but it would pretty much just go whoop, right down to that level. So you can see, you know, that next support being 28,000. But the problem with that is if we go here and we look at this top, where does that put us? That's only a 58% drop. All right. Uh-oh. So if we keep going lower, we keep going lower, we keep going lower, that puts us at $13,000 to $12,000, right? And I kind of like that idea for a couple of reasons here, because look how beautifully this actually lines up with the resistance on the chart. If you look here, we got a lot of resistance back there in 2019 at that $13,000 to $14,000 level. Now, is it a coincidence that that's right where 80% pullback is? It might be. It might be a total fluke, or it could be telling us something. It could be telling us that this is where we want to be buying at. Because again, like I said, we've looked at the chat, we've looked at the chart multiple times, we've looked at this pattern, we've seen what goes on, we've seen the move, and look at that 80% drop, putting us right down there to that $13,000 to $14,000 level. Now, obviously, it's not always going to be perfect, you know, right on the dot here, but there is something to focus on here. And I think, well, you know, there's potential for this to pull back. So what's my game plan? As of right now, it's a no buy for me. I'm not buying off of this level. Like, I'm just not buying here. I don't want to buy here. Now, if we kind of, let's say we start to rally off of this and we start to move up, we start to consolidate, and then we move higher like that, well, then I might be, you know, I might be thinking about kind of a bigger move here. Because if we're going like, and then like that, well, then I can get excited. But, you know, I need to see some serious consolidation. I need to see a breakout. I need to see a strong move. I need to see some good news. Look at the volume here on Bitcoin as well, kind of just fizzling out through this move as well. So it is interesting that Bitcoin made an all-time high up there at almost $70,000, but Look at the volume through this move. The volume was very light through this move. Oh gosh, we're drawing all over the place now. Get rid of that. Oh no, put me back over there. Okay, there we go. So it's very interesting that through this whole entire move, making an all-time high move, the volume has been very light. We have not seen the volume that we saw back there in 2021 since then. We had this big dump here, but we consolidated. We then rallied back up here to the 72,000, and then, well, now we're selling off. So, you know, if you want to go and you want to get all Fibonacci-wise, and you want to put some Fibonacci lines on the chart here, let's think about it like this. Okay, we're going to go from this low down here. Maybe not that. So if you wanted to kind of put Fibonacci lines on this, or look at it from a Fibonacci standpoint, if we go from this low here, how high do we go? So we went up there to 69,000, and you can see right now the Fibonacci kind of lines us up right into this area of support for a 0.618 pullback. That 0.5, we've already broke through that level. So after that, really puts us right here at 28,000, which is interesting because, again, guys, remember, we got that support right there. And look how perfectly it lines up there on the Fibonacci chart. It pretty much lines up perfectly right in line with that $28,000 support. So, you know, there's a possibility of this as well. So you get Bitcoin. Let's say Bitcoin, you know, Bitcoin breaks down from here, and it goes and then starts to bounce, and then we get that push higher. That's another also, you know, I would say good possibility here from a pullback standpoint. We get a pullback to this level, we consolidate, we turn this level into support again, and then we blast off. But still, you know, in the back of my head, I'm thinking that 80% pullback is coming, right? Problem is, I still don't feel like we've hit an all-time high just yet. Like, for some reason, I don't feel like Bitcoin has really had the all-time high, you know, that we should expect here yet. But who really knows at this point? But looking at the chart, you know, we've got a couple of different ways to play this. Like I said, I'm not buying here until we get a serious push and then we get a breakout. Like, I don't think there's really any point in buying at this level unless, you know, you're looking to add to your position and you just want to kind of dollar cost average. If you have an overall investing plan that's like that, you know, then you can do it. Maybe I'll nibble a little bit, you know, just a little bit of nibbling. But I don't think I'm going to back up the truck just yet. Now, I would be more aggressive buying down here at the $28,000 level if we bounce off of that, kind of seeing. But still, I'm not getting overly, like, I'm not going to go out and buy like crazy until we get down here to the $12,000 to $14,000 level, because at that point I know that the overall trend, the overall play that we've seen multiple times with Bitcoin having that 80% pullback, well, then that prophecy, that idea, you know, would come true, because there we are, you know, right down here, $12,000. So I drew a bunch of lines on a chart and told you guys exactly what I think is going to happen, but who really knows? At the end of the day, we got to take a trade, and I think this is what we're looking at. Now, you might be wondering, you know, what should you be buying other than Bitcoin? At the end of the day, I'm always kind of looking at Bitcoin for an overall indicator. If Bitcoin is bullish, well, then I look at other cryptocurrencies to be bullish as well. If Bitcoin is bearish and it's pulling back, well, then normally most other cryptocurrencies are also pulling back as well. So, you know, if we look at Solana here, pull the Solana chart up, Solana also very much in a overall downtrend. I talked about this in the Discord recently, how, you know, Solana's has been in this overall downtrend, this overall pullback. If we look at this pullback here, we're down about 50%. If we go to an 80% pullback, I think, you know, if Bitcoin puts us there, that would put Solana down like a $50 level. So a little bit different, you know, harder to put that 80% pullback on every chart. But if we're looking at Bitcoin, we're looking at the overall market, you can see right now Solana at $139. It had a recent high back there in November of 2021, up there at $258. I like the idea of Solana kind of consolidating here above $120. I think, you know, the risk to reward is pretty good at these levels, but still, I'm really just kind of watching Bitcoin. If Bitcoin becomes bullish and I see Bitcoin looking strong, well, then I can start to get more aggressive buying altcoins and things like that. I'm also watching Sandbox, anything really to do with the metaverse as well. Same idea though, guys. If Bitcoin is bearish and it's pulling back, well, then I don't need to be aggressively buying other altcoins or really buying anything else until I see Bitcoin turn bullish. So Sandbox right now at the $4.50 area. It rallied recently up there to almost $8.50. Since that high, it's pulled back around almost 50%. So you're still getting a really good opportunity to buy here. But until Bitcoin really tells me, like, hey, it's time to party, well, then I'm not going to start partying until that happens. So, that's just what I'm watching. Also, you got to look at Mana. I think at the end of the day, all of these big plays for the metaverse are going to be hot. Mana, Decentraland has been kind of just I would say a coin that just was under the radar for quite some time. You can see, like, it was down here at 50 cents forever, and then the news came out with Meta, with Facebook, and you saw this thing just rocket from the 50-cent area up here to a high of almost $6. Right now, back below $3. Looking like there's some support here at the $2.50, $3 area there, but still, Bitcoin. That's what I'm watching. That's what I'm worried about. So, you can look at all your cryptocurrencies, have your plan, have the, overall idea of what you're going to be buying once Bitcoin kind of tells us that we're going to get bullish again. But until Bitcoin does that, I think it's better to just kind of wait and watch and just kind of stockpile some cash until that next big crash happens. Now, the thing is, if, let's say, Bitcoin crashes like 10 to 20% in one day, then I might be a little bit more, a little bit happier about buying. Now, I don't want to just be buying with Bitcoin consolidating at a level like right here with, with Mana just consolidating at $3. I don't really like it. But let's say Mana just all of a sudden crashes down here to $2, in one day. It crashes 20% in one day. Then I might be a little bit more excited about buying a little bit, a little bit of nibble, just a little bit. So that's kind of what I'm watching cryptocurrency wise. So there it is, my breakdown on cryptocurrency. It was a little long, hopefully some information for you guys, and you guys can see kind of what I'm thinking here cryptocurrency wise for 2022. It might be a bear market. It might be a cold crypto winter for us, but I think there will be opportunities to come in the future. We just got to sit back and wait and be patient and really just kind of, have a plan. That is always the goal. Always having a plan, understanding that obviously these things can always go lower and there's a lot of risk when it comes to cryptocurrency. So if you guys haven't already, do me one big favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys later on.